Seeing is believing, right? I mean, I see my hand, I see this apple right here, and I see that you're procrastinating on your homework by watching this video. Good choice. What I'm trying to say is that most of the time, you can trust those two side globes and the chunk of electric meat in your heads to accurately tell you what's going on in the world. But they aren't perfect. Those squishy vision balls can have so many problems that it's a fucking miracle that all of humanity isn't just constantly plummeting to their deaths. And don't even get me started on the brain. Schizophrenia, dementia, bringing your 2-year-old into a movie theater and talking on your phone the whole time. Yeah, there's so many mental illnesses that exist in our world. And that's why we have things like Bigfoot, Loch Ness, or my future girlfriend. Completely fictional, but I still have hope that I'll find them. But those things are pretty inconsequential stuff in the grand scheme of things. But what about something bigger? What if I told you that the US was attacked by its worst enemy in the middle of the biggest war in history? Except for the fact that the attack never happened and everyone just imagined that it did. I mean, I guess that's pretty interesting. What are you doing in my house? Well, you're in luck, because today we're gonna talk about the World War II invasion that never existed. Our story starts in 1941. We're around 2 years into World War II at this point, and while all of Europe was absolutely shitting itself trying to stop a failed art student who also happened to be extremely racist, the US was just chilling with its bucket of popcorn and its 4-gallon bottle of Coke, and occasionally throwing a gun or two their way. That was until the 7th of December 1941, when Japan decided that it was a good idea to make an enemy out of the one country that wasn't involved in the war, that also happened to have a huge-ass military and economy. And also a bunch of rednecks who were more than happy to shoot some foreigners. Yeah, not exactly the best move for Japan, especially since it was currently at war with pretty much every single one of its neighbors. And so, the US officially joined World War II. Now, although Japan might have made a bad move here, it still had a really strong military, especially its air force. So the US was on high alert to make sure that Japan didn't bomb any of the cities on the west coast, like San Francisco, San Diego, and Los Angeles. I guess at this time it was actually worth protecting and wasn't just filled with wannabe YouTubers. At this point, everyone in the US was on the edge of their seats, just waiting for an attack to happen. The US was now on top of a house of cards, which is on top of a moving bus, which is all on top of a second grader who'd just eaten 2 gummy vitamins instead of 1. On the 9th of December in New York, we almost had the Great Depression Part 2, all because someone saw something in the sky that kinda sorta maybe slightly could have looked like a Japanese fighter plane. But considering it's New York, it was probably just a really overweight pigeon, which, now that I think about it, would probably be just as dangerous, if not even worse. Through the next few months on the West Coast, pretty much anything that dared to exist in the water was reported as Japanese ships and submarines. You're trying to catch some fish? Japanese spy. You're going for a swim? Japanese spy. You're a whale? Japanese spy. The US Secretary of War told America that cities should expect some occasional blows from Japan. What do you mean, occasional blows? Well, you know, a few bombings here and there, a few thousand dead people. So yeah, don't say I didn't warn you. Unsurprisingly, this wasn't very helpful to the entire country of people that thought they were gonna die the next day. But the Japanese were actually trying to attack the US. On the 23rd of February, a Japanese submarine showed up at the west coast and lobbed a few bombs at some buildings. They did barely any damage, but at this point, Japan could exhale in the general direction of the US and cause a nationwide panic attack. So all this led up to the 24th of February. The situation started at around 2 AM, when the military received reports from some guy somewhere at some time about something in the sky, which is apparently reason enough for the military to black out the whole city, get all of their anti-aircraft guns ready, and scan every square inch of the sky with powerful searchlights. Now nobody actually knows who fired the first shot, but I'd like to think it went down something like this. Soldier, are you sleeping on the job? No sir, no I'm not, I'm awake and ready, my guns are locked and loaded, it's all good. At least we know the gun works. And once one of them started shooting, everyone else joined in on the fun. The sky was soon filled with the bright orange bursts of the anti-aircraft shells, while everyone else in the city was collectively destroying their hope for survival and also their retinas. The firing continued for around an hour. You know, I'm pretty sure whatever they saw flying in the sky was probably definitely reduced to the quantum realm by now. But then again, you don't get to fire a 7-foot missile launcher with enough recoil to phase you out of existence every day, so I'd probably make the most of it too. Meanwhile, back on the ground, reports and theories were flying all over the place. People said they saw bombs falling, soldiers parachuting down, and even a plane crash. Now I can understand, with all the fun the military was having, how you could maybe kinda see something that looked like a bomb or a soldier. But how in the world do you imagine a whole plane crash happening right in front of you? I mean, either they got the best LSD this side of the world, or it's just undiagnosed psychosis. In any case, the military should probably stop taking in reports from the public. In total, the military fired around 1,400 shells in the sky to defend Los Angeles, and at this point, the US was, understandably, pretty mad at Japan. So they called them up and were like, "Japan, I can't believe you've done this. Apologize right now or we'll have no choice but to attack you." "What are you talking about? What did I do?" "You know damn well what you did. Now say sorry or you'll be sorry." Okay, is this about the time we tried to assassinate your president by adding a kilogram of cyanide to his morning coffee? Wait, you tried to do that? Yeah? I mean, no, of course no. I mean, we'd never do that. Why would you do that? That's a stupid idea. Anyway, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the planes that you just flew over Los Angeles. What planes? We didn't fly any of ours today. All of them are right here. Oh, so you're saying I just imagined you guys trying to attack the US? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Oh, okay then. Hey man, if the war's being a little too stressful for you, you can just surrender right now and we'll just wrap this whole thing up. No, I'm not stressed. You're stressed. I'm completely fine. I'm just saying, I'm not the one who's wasting all their ammo on clouds in the sky at 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay, yeah, you've said enough. Bye. I'm not stressed. Do I look stressed? Turns out, there were never any Japanese planes or any other planes in the sky at the time, which meant that for one whole hour, the US military was fighting into an empty patch of sky. In fact, the only damage caused during this attack was by the military themselves, as some of the shells that they launched didn't explode in the sky and instead hit people's homes on the ground. 5 people also died during this due to heart attacks and car accidents because of all the chaos. So what actually was in the sky at the time that caused the shooting to begin? Well, there are many theories from people with way too much time on their hands saying that it was actually an alien spaceship. Now, if there was an alien species out there capable of sending a spaceship across millions of light years, they probably don't like us very much after this. I mean, we did try to assassinate the first and only ambassador that they sent to us, so I don't think we're gonna be friends anytime soon. Now, nobody knows what actually happened, but the most accepted theory says that the thing that caused all the shooting was, drumroll please, a weather balloon. Yep, a glorified plastic bag filled with hydrogen that was silver in color. A few of them were launched before the attack to study the weather, and some guy probably saw them and said, "Those kinda sorta maybe slightly look like a plane. Must be the Japanese." No, they're just weather balloons. Huh, interesting. That's exactly what a Japanese spy would say. I'm too tired for this. You know what, fuck it. It's a plane, call the police, I don't care. I knew it. You know, when American duty calls, only I stand tall. That makes no sense. Shut up, it sounds cool, okay? So yeah, case closed. Someone released a few weather balloons, people thought they were Japanese planes, the whole city was blacked out, and 5 people died. And that's where our story ends. Or is it? Yeah, it is. So yeah, that was the story of the World War II invasion that never existed. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, and watch another video by clicking right here. I'll see you guys later.